Welcome to Learn English. Enjoy easy lessons, vocabulary, and grammar, and speak English with confidence. Subscribe and start your English journey today.
Mastering the mechanics of how English moves through time involves navigating a system that appears structurally inconsistent. Initially, the language offers one reliable rule for the past tense. To shift an action into the past, you simply attach an ed to the end of the base word. Play becomes played. Walk becomes walked. Because this rule is so predictable, it allows for a sense of early confidence. You can apply the formula to thousands of verbs, and the results are almost always correct. This progress stops at words like go, eat, or think. At this point, the standard rule fails. You've reached the irregular verbs. Without these specific words, you are restricted to describing the world as it exists in the present moment, leaving you unable to explain anything that has already happened. This list contains the 100 most common irregular verbs in English, across their V1, V2, and V3 forms. In this dense configuration, the sheer volume of information is difficult to process. The traditional approach to learning this list relies on alphabetical memorization. You study the words from A to Z, even though adjacent words like arise, awake, and be share no structural connection. This process is more efficient if you ignore the alphabetical order and look for the internal logic that actually governs these verbs. These words belong to ancient phonetic families. Over centuries of language evolution, they retained specific sound patterns that are still visible today. Isolating these structural patterns replaces the need for brute force memorization with a process of simple observation. This table isolates the first phonetic family. In the words begin, began, and begun, we have highlighted the vowels to reveal a clear I-A-U progression. The V1 form uses an I. To move into the V2 past tense, the vowel shifts to an A. For the V3 participle, it shifts to a U. Other common verbs follow this sequence. Drink becomes drank and drunk. Swim becomes swam and swum. A second family, the no-changers, is even simpler. In words like cut, hit, and put, there is no change at all. Regardless of the tense, the phonetic structure of these words remains identical across all three columns. Recognizing these two patterns allows you to categorize a quarter of the entire list, reducing the total volume of words that require individual attention. We can apply the same logic to longer words like freeze, speak, and steal, which follow an E to O shift. The base vowel shifts to a hard O sound in the past tense, froze, spoke, stole, adding an N to secure the participle form, frozen, spoken, stolen. This chart shows verbs like catch, buy, and think. Even though their V1 base forms look different, they share a heavy suffix block in the past and participle columns. Notice how all three of these words lock into the exact same ought structure the moment they enter the past tense. Sorting verbs into these phonetic buckets reduces a list of 100 variations into 5 predictable rules. You are no longer guessing at the forms of words. You are following a decipherable system. Because these 100 verbs appear more frequently than almost any other words in the language, they are the most effective place to focus your study. Mastering them allows you to shift from merely stating facts in the present tense to accurately recounting your experiences in the past. Describing an event, a trip, or a conversation is only possible when you can reliably navigate these past tense actions. These phonetic groupings provide a functional map for the irregular verbs. Once these patterns are ingrained, you can focus on the specific details of a story rather than the mechanics of the words themselves.